this game ends up going the distance here, simply because... Welcome to Inferno Pools, ladies and gentlemen, for game number 1 between these two Team Liquid.net teammates, spawning in the top right-hand position as the Red Terran player. Ladies and gentlemen, the current king of the hill, it is Bunny. His opponent spawns in the top left position, so they're going to be in the same half of the map here. And he is playing as the blue Zerg player, also representing Team Liquid. It is the little one, TLO. So pretty cool match here. These players, I would have to give Bunny the edge and say he's favorite, but actually these players being possibly close to evenly matched. Anything could really happen in this series. That's what's so nice about it. I mean, we saw last week, for example, we actually went all the way to game 9 between Bunny and Lilbo. So very, very close, very tense series in that TVP. And hopefully we'll have something similar here. Bunny's going to be starting off the game, as you can see, with the barracks before the refinery, so he's not going for any ultra early factory play. We're not going to see fastest possible Hellions out on the map in this TVZ, for example. TLO, in the meantime, is opting for his hatchery first. You will be able to plonk that down right there prior to going for a spawning pool. No reason to get worried just yet. This Overlord, the first one, is going to be able to scout. They have spawned in horizontal positions at the top of the map. Bunny, of course, has done no scouting yet. Will likely be doing that. Well, we've seen him favor, of course, just the general standard Reaper play. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what he does out here. And there we go. 50 gas, and instantaneously the Reaper starts. In fact, I think this Overlord does actually see TLO. Oh, and TLO sees the Overlord as well. So really, really nice there. Sorry, Bunny, rather, sees the Overlord as well. Immediately going back with this SCV to build a supply depot to complete the wall. So Bunny spots that TLO is in those horizontal cross-spawn positions and immediately wants to make sure that we can't get a Zergling scout or potential for early game aggression coming in from TLO. But as we can see, TLO doesn't have plans of that sort. The spawning pool is only 3/4 of the way done now. He's, of course, has no queens out. He's not going to be getting lings out for quite some time. And things are going to be just fine. TLO also spots that the SCV is now on the low ground and is about to make a command center. So Bunny's saving up now. He's at about 350 minerals as the Reaper goes into the natural. No drones mining here yet, so he's going to have to go into the bait. That buys the queens a little bit more time to come out, but 6 slings are in production. It's going to take a little while. These drones on gas are being hurt quite badly right now. They're, oh, very nice. Gets off 1 drone. A really good start to the series and the game, of course, from Liquid Bunny here. And now the first 4 lings are going to be giving chase to this Reaper. There are 2 more to try and possibly corner it off at the ramp, but it looks like they're just going straight across the map. This Reaper doing good damage at the moment, killing off 1 of the lings as well, and should be able to get a second one now. Oh, and Reaper is coming in with his friend, but luckily, these lings have decided to stall for enough time that we do have queens out on the map now. So a good start for Bunny, but by no means the complete article right now. Oh, he manages to get a second drone. Now that is actually significant. Won't be able to get a third. Does manage to turn that into an extractor. Really good micro there from TLO, but he's already lost 2 drones. This isn't an ideal situation for him at all. His queen's getting attacked a little bit. We can see these 2 Zerglings trying to kill off the SCV, building the command center on the low ground. This is why so many Terrans build it on the high ground and then fold it down. But defensive Reaper just about manages to get into 5 hit points left on that SCV. And now this pair of Reapers continues to go to work on these drones. Oh no, a 3rd one going down. This is disastrous actually for TLO now. A 4th one, and 1 of the Reapers is going to go down, but 4 workers killed and a 2nd Reaper now joining. I guess what would have been the 3rd means that Bunny has just started off this game very, very well indeed. Number of workers killed at the moment, 4 versus 0. That's not really what you want to be seeing at the 6-minute mark as a Zerg player. And behind this as well, we have the starport and a 3rd command center starting for Bunny. So preparing to transition into the macro game while getting that nice Reaper Hellion interim composition up and potentially transitioning into Banshee play as well. We'll keep an eye on whether that ends up happening. Now, this Overlord, wow, it's going to be feeling pretty hot there, man. Not the safest place to be, as I'm sure you'll agree. But quite a view, I have to be honest. And he's going to be able to dart in and sort of scout out the tech inside the Terran main base a little bit later. We can see the Banshee is coming. Note that there's no cloak incoming, though, for the Terran player, so Bunny going to be investing his gas elsewhere. We'll keep keeping an eye on that as he decides to take his his second gas geyser as well. 2 Queens going to be preventing these Reapers and Hellions from coming up, and the Spine Crawler at the top of the ramp as well. Means that it's going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for Bunny to get up this ramp without suffering at least a couple of casualties. So, TLO stabilizing there after the first couple of worker losses. He's not doing too badly, I have to say. He's up to 36 workers now against 32. He'll want that number to be slightly higher, but he has the freedom to do that now. Taking the remainder of his gas, so going up to all 4 gases with no third base in sight. Oh, and a Reaper's going to be able to come up here and spot the Spire, or is he? No, doesn't actually see it, and that's because it's at the natural expansion, but ooh! But there we go. As soon as the Reaper got killed, Bunny immediately drops a scan and will see the Spire at the natural. So we know that this is 2-base muta incoming from Liquid TLO here in game number 1. And Overseer, in the meantime, from TLO is going to be able to spot everything of importance inside this base. Really, really nice. Even saving it and putting it into the corner for future use. No sense just letting it fly around the Terran base and get taken out. I really like that play. And both sides basically have all the information they need. We've got the double engineering bay coming up behind this. I think this is possibly the only thing, I want to say, that TLO hasn't seen. So he hasn't seen that there are 2 engineering bays. So it's not going to be an ultra-aggressive, super fast thing. We are going to at least see 1-1 before any sort of timing potentially comes out from Bunny here. And TLO, in the meantime, is going to be preparing to start up his first bunch of mutas. He's saved up to 800 gas right now, so that's nice and tasty to be able to get that initial count up. And here we go. The first ones are incoming as missile turrets now get placed inside the mineral lines for Liquid Bunny. Baneling speed coming up behind this as well, so setting up quite nicely for Ling Bling Muta. Kind of mid-game composition here from TLO. From that point of view, it's looking pretty standard. We have the bunker up with Marines in tow from Bunny, just trying to play a safe position. It is only the 1 bunker, so potential for a large Baneling attack could actually be a little bit annoying for him. And TLO is actually scouting this out. He's thinking, well, hang on a second, how many barracks do you actually have? Can I afford to possibly bust this down? He sees the siege tank coming out of the factory. Is he going for it here? He might be. A couple... Oh, wow, that's a lot of Banelings. I think he is going for it here. He's trying to stop the missile turret going down with the Mutilas. He's not going to be able to do that, but there are an awful lot of Banelings that are going to be coming in and knocking on the front door of his natural expansion. Well, the supply depots are up, but it doesn't even matter because everything else goes down right now. The tank is going to get focused down. There are no Banelings left, however, and there are a decent number of... Oh, did I say there are no Banelings left? Oh my god, are there Banelings left? And that is a huge number of worker kills. Holy moly. That just became a graveyard, ladies and gentlemen. Number of workers killed now rising to 20 for Liquid TLO. He currently enjoys a 79 to 68 supply advantage. He's coming in with Wave 2. Mutas, Links, not that many Mutas and not that many Banelings, but enough to make a difference here. Maybe pre-splitting those Marines. And Bunny is going to be able to hold this for now, but that's because TLO is just moving back and trying to get in for Wave 2. And here he comes. Is he going into the mineral line or is he going into the Marines? He's going to have to make a decision. And TLO trying to break Bunny early on in this best of 9 and take a 1-0 lead. Good splits from the Marines, but a lot of them do go down to those Baneling hits, and more coming in. This natural expansion is looking like it's forfeit here, and the missile turret is doing a lot of damage to the... Oh my god, another huge hit from the Banelings means that workers killed is now up to 28, and Bunny is in an awful lot of trouble. His natural expansion is being overrun with Zerg right now, and I'm not really sure how he's going to be coming back. Oh, wow, even bringing a Queen over and laying a couple of Creep Tumors, using the Overlord Creep Spew to try and prevent this command center from landing again. He won't quite do that, but if he's able to force a lift even just one more time, it's going to end up being very, very huge for our Zerg player. Has to be so careful for those Widow Mines, but it has been baited out now, and effectively that Widow Mine is out of commission for the best part of another in-game minute. We also have Baneling Speed incoming. Still no combat shield, but it's about to complete for Bunny. We'll be able to hold on. He's trying to stabilize. He's at 65 supply and actually supply blocked right now. He's not even got another supply depot on the way. Very, very tricky situation for him to be in. And this Queen looks like she's going to die off, but at least allows the creep tumor to survive. And if this creep tumor actually spreads itself one more time, there's a chance that a single scan won't be able to take all of the creep tumors out. Now that is a very, very attractive proposition here. Muta's coming inside the main base, trying to get a bit of damage done, managing to take out one structure, but this missile turret will be able to move them away. And there is the scan, there is the extra creep tumor, and unfortunately as this one managed to didn't quite manage to get put down before this one got killed off, so no dice there for our Zerg player. But TLO right now, he's expanding towards the middle in the gold. He's being very, very aggressive off the back of this. We have the 1-1 upgrades incoming as well. You don't see any other tech preparing because TLO wants to keep the aggression up, wants to keep the pressure up, and see if he can't cement this advantage and turn it into a 1-0 game win. Engaging the army with a couple of units. Good defense there from Bunny, but in the meantime, the entire mineral line actually gets taken out there. And this is looking like a very frustrating position for Bunny to deal with. He's at 77 supply right now, but it's just dealing with these Banelings. I mean, they've got Baneling speed, and I guess because of this, they're technically on creep as well when they get up to the Terra Natural expansion. That just makes it so difficult here for Bunny to hold. He is stabilizing, but simply put, his army and his economy is just going to be flagging behind in the long run here. He's already down on workers, 30 to 45. His army supply is technically bigger, but as long as the economy stays pressed down, I don't see what else he can do. 26 workers now for our Terran player, and Bunny is just not able to leave his natural expansion. Is he down? Yes. Is he out? No. He's definitely still in with a fighting chance here, but it's so difficult for him to do much that isn't really aggressive. He has to hope that with this army, he's able to crush everything Zerg in his way, and I'm just not sure that's going to be true. So a couple of Banelings getting taken out en route to the gold base, and wow, this is going to be a quick time to siege up. That's the disadvantage, of course, to expanding towards your opponent. It also becomes a much faster target, but it looks like TLO is thinking about the wraparound. He has sacrificed this hatchery here. He knows it's not going to be going down. Are we going to see units wrapping around from behind? It looks like TLO is thinking about it. He's not really sure, but Bunny is going to make that decision a little easier for him because he's committing and moving on to creep right now. So if we have the armies in the appropriate positions... Oh, as we see Zerglings and Banelings once again move in towards a natural expansion, and that could be very problematic indeed. Bunny has now decided, right, it's now or never. I'm quite behind. I need to make sure I do an awful lot of damage with this attack. Let's go ahead and move up into his base. Scanning to pick out some creep tombs. The spine call at the front is going to go down. A lot of Banelings coming down the ramp, but great splits actually on the Marines. But the Banelings have come back from the other side as well. They've come all the way back from his base there. And TLO deciding that this is actually very worth defending. We need to make sure that there is nothing that Bunny can do on this front. I just need to continue to cement my advantage. That's exactly what he does here. 68 supply versus 54. Very low supply game. And an awful lot of aggression coming out from TLO early on. Bunny trying with a bit of counter-aggression of his own, but it hasn't quite paid off yet. He's definitely in a position where he's very behind. Now, let's talk pluses for Bunny there. He did take out the gold base. It wasn't mining for very long indeed. So he was doing okay there. He has gone up to 11 workers killed, but it is versus 42. I mean, that's an awful lot right now. And TLO is coming back in to try and pick off the missile turret in the natural expansion. Will the reactions be good enough? It looks like they are good enough from Bunny there. The army was on its way being stimmed back. TLO taking the more conventional third base location now, and I like this because for Bunny to engage here, he would have to come so far and commit to being so far from home in order to try and take this hatchery out. The TLO might just be able to win outright there and then. What else have we got back home? Both sides are just continuously building units, to be perfectly honest. I mean, we've got some burrow coming out from the lair here, but there's actually not too much else to talk about. The +2 attack is incoming as well, and TLO is actually going to use this lull to go ahead and grab his 4th base by the looks of things. Alrighty then. So the +2 armor for our Zerg player is a little bit delayed compared to the +2 attack. Looks like that aren't going to be his particular priorities. Oh god, the siege tank could kill off so many Banelings, and he does. 1 shot and 2 shots, and only 3 Banelings remaining. That's just really nice positioning there. But crucially, stopping Bunny from being able to get that 3rd base location down. And Bunny needs that so badly right now. He needs to be able to reboost his economy. He's actually back up to 41 workers, and he's only 41 versus 43 of TLO. And you might be thinking, wow, that's really great. But don't forget, this 3rd base is now mining, and this 4th base is about to complete as well. So TLO has a little bit of leapfrogging of his own that he wants to do. Now, the Mutalisks are going to try and do a bit of harassment damage, potentially pick off the army, which should be quite useful inside the main base. 1 Marine is going to force the Mutants to leave. No, they're not. And there we go, managing to kill a couple of those off. One of the mutas will go down. The armory is going to get picked off, though. As is one Marine. Needs to be careful. One more Mutalisk going down to that group of Stim Marines. But generally speaking, doing quite a good job trying to stop TLO from attacking the third base location. TLO will give it a go anyway. And it looks like Bunny is finally going to stabilize here. He has a lot of Marines to support this base. I don't really think... I think harassment can definitely still be done. But I don't think it'll be as cost-effective as TLO wants it to be right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he just focuses his attentions elsewhere. Now, the fourth base is up and mining only the one drone so far, so we'll be looking to transfer a couple more in due course. The replacement armory is going down inside the main base now for Liquid Bunny. And, well, 2-2 is nearly complete for TLO right now, and that's got to be... That's got to be a very difficult situation, to be honest, for Bunny to be in. I mean, he'll be 2 upgrades down against the Zerg, who got a really nice economic advantage from him early game, and now is going to be 1 base, I suppose, up on him as well. But the security of this base is looking increasingly delicate, shall we say, as TLO continues to try and find ways of destroying his destroying the obstacles en route to beating his opponent here. Now, what else have we got going? Do we have any further tech? We don't. Both players really just non-stop making units right now. More and more links from TLO. The Mute is trying to do a bit of harassment once again, but this group of Marines haven't moved from their main base location, and he won't be able to get the purchase on that he ideally wants. So, fair enough. We have a couple of Marines just kind of chilling out at this North Island to see what's going on. This Overlord doesn't quite see them, as you can see. But it's also a little bit irrelevant at the moment. It depends on when that medevac decides to start that drop process. So a little bit of a scan just to spot exactly what's going on, potentially where the army is. But TLO hasn't actually got everything there. So Bunny will unfortunately have wasted that a little bit. He's doing a good job of macroing up behind this though, because he's back up to 160 supply. And I guess that's really the platform from which Bunny might be able to start thinking about winning this game. Right now, he's still behind on workers. It's only 51 versus 62, as the Mutas continue to try and harass and potentially stop the fourth from going down. We also have another small force of Lings, actually, in the natural expansion, which are doing a reasonably good job. Number of workers killed now rising to 51, ladies and gentlemen, from TLO this game. So he's doing a phenomenal job there, trying to keep his opponent's economy in check. But Bunny is slowly getting teched up. If he gets onto 4 base as well, he'll be able basically to do anything the Terran race feels like he wants to do. And from that point onwards, it becomes a lot more difficult for TLO. He definitely wants to strike while the iron is hot, and wants to try and do that in this game right here, right now. We have a bunch of baneling explosions as TLO moves into the main base. And how much of this is going to do damage? I mean, there are still so many Lings remaining. Where's Bunny's defense, actually? We don't really have that much. Just the odd medevac here and there. Is there a counterattack going on somewhere in the map? It doesn't look like it. And more units are streaming into the natural. There we go. That's the army. It looks like they're getting stimmed into the main base. But a lot of stuff in the main base is in the process of going down. It looks like an engineering bay. Wow, that's huge, actually, almost finishing the upgrade. If he gets both upgrades as well, that's going to be fantastic. He will get both upgrades, and all of a sudden the upgrade advantage being enjoyed here by Bunny is just going to be greater and greater going into the late game. So I really like that decision for him. He kills off all the Lings, of course, and the Mutas are going to be able to come back and help out. Even taking out the bunker at this fourth. And notice, by the way, look how far it is to walk from the main base to the fourth. Unless you doom drop and pick up every single one of your units and immediately drop them here with that medevac boost, you weren't going to make it. And there we go. The hairdryer is gone. The orbital command has been destroyed at the fourth base location. And Bunny has decided, well, I'm going to have to attack now and see if I can't end the game with this, because if I just sit back and defend indefinitely, I could just be in an absolute world of trouble right now, and he couldn't be more right. So he's moving in, trying to take the initiative. He spots the 2 evolution chambers. Wouldn't be surprised if he takes those down, but he should note that they're not currently researching anything, so it doesn't actually make too much of a difference right now. And the army looking like it's going to be coming back here. The Muta count doing a fairly good job, but there are so many medevacs healing these Marines. It's very, very difficult for them to take hold, but eventually they do. The medevacs, crucially, I want to say get out of there unscathed. No, never mind. That's going to be it. GG, ladies and gents. And Liquid TLO is going to go 1 game up in this best of 9.